Hey guys, in this video we're going to be checking out this frame from Realacc. It's called the Purple 150. This is a frame that I requested based on a subscriber request. Someone wanted to see this frame reviewed. I actually had very little interest in reviewing this frame. This is like a clone or a copy of the Armaton Japalure, but it's got a lot of differences. I just want to point out some of the differences. Obviously they are very inspired by the design here with these aluminum anodized purple here, and the side cage here with the carbon plate reinforcement. That's basically the thing that forms the pod that protects the electronics and mounts your FPV camera. Not a lot of space in there. This is a 150 size frame. Motor to motor, it's actually 155. It's a little bit bigger. So I believe the Armaton Japalure is a 130. Someone could correct me if I'm mistaken on that. They both swing 3-inch propellers. We got some motor cutouts here for, I believe it will do as low as 11.0X series motors, and obviously 13 and 14 series motors as well. The bottom plate here is only 2.5 millimeters thick, and I believe the Japalure is a 3 millimeter thick arm, and then the outside of the arm is a little different. I think the Japalure is completely curved like a circle, and you have a different design here on the arm of the Purple 150. I did color the side of the carbon here on the main plate purple. It doesn't come like this. I just used some Sharpie paint and painted that. That's pretty easy to do. But I did have to file down the edges a little bit. It wasn't too bad. Not as bad as some of the other Realacc frames I've seen out there, but it was a little bit of burring and it was pretty sharp, so I just filed it down under some water, and it took about 10 minutes, so not a big deal. Yeah, it turned out okay. You can see it. I mean, it looks pretty decent now. I'm not sure if the camera's gonna really show that all that well, but it's fairly nice looking. So this kit did come with quite a bit of stuff. Let me just go through real quick here. So you have this battery protection thing here. If you mount the battery on the bottom, you'd use this to protect the battery. It also has a little bit of a silicone grip here, so you put this on here and it'll grip the battery and hold it in place if you do the bottom mounting battery. You can also put it on the top, but there's not a lot of space here to put a battery on top, although I've seen people do that with the Japalure. It does come with a PDB, and I think it's a Maytech. I think it's a Maytech or a Maytech rebrand. It has a 5-volt and a 12-volt regulator on here. It's a Maytech. So it's got 2 regulators on here. It's a pretty standard PDB. It's included. You get a battery strap, and then you get these foam pads here for the battery protector, and also if you do the top mounting battery, you can use these foam feet under the arms. I'm probably not going to be using any of these things, just extra weight that I don't really want to add to this. Now putting this together is actually really easy. It comes with a bunch of these smaller screws. I think these are M3 6mm screws. I'm not 100% sure how long they are, but you see they're all along here on this side and on the top. Those are all the same, so they go pretty much everywhere except for the 2 screws that go into this little holder for your SMA pigtail. There's 1 screw here and here. Those are the 2 longer ones. Are going to go all the way through into this little piece here that holds this in place, and this is where your SMA extension is going to pop out of here. But all the other smaller screws are the same size. Very easy to put together. Basically, you just put the side plates, screw them into the aluminum parts here, the cage, and then you use this piece here and this piece here, these 2 smaller carbon pieces, as well as the SMA extension holder, and you screw all the screw holes in here, and that'll hold the 2 sides together, and that'll form basically the pod. That's where most of the weight is. And then there's only 4 screws on the bottom here, also the same size, that holds the pod onto the main plate. And you can see here that this main plate supports 20x20 flight controllers as well as 30x30, so you can see that it's very versatile. Okay, you get a weight measurement of the frame. This is a bare frame, nothing on it. It's 65 grams, and it's a fairly hefty frame. It has to do with these aluminum parts here, and the side cage. This pod is pretty beefy, but it's also going to be very durable. Pretty sure this is going to hold really well in crashes, and will protect your electronics really well. So I know people are going to be asking me, well, how much space is here between the bottom plate and the top plate here is about 18 millimeters. That's pretty much all the space you have available to you to put your electronic components in here. And you probably at most are going to be able to put 2 boards in here. So I'm actually going to be a little ambitious. I'm actually going to try and build this out with the HGLRC F4 Flame. And this is a single board PDB and flight controller combo. And I did a review in this a while back. So if you're looking to save space, something like this would be pretty good to use, and this might be a good candidate. So you could have a single board in here, and then I could put some individual ESDs, some small ones on the arms, and then I'd have one extra board here, space for one more board for a run cam split. And so that would basically be down to basically a little bit of space at the top here for maybe like a little micro video transmitter, like a VTX03 for example. And then I could just use that as my FPV system. And then of course the camera would mount here, the run cam split would mount here. So I'm not sure how this would all turn out. I'm going to try and do that. If you guys have any suggestions on better components or different components that I should use, maybe get this lighter. Pretty sure that it should be fine because I plan on using the HGLRC 1407 motors. Should be plenty of power. So don't think the weight's going to be too much of an issue. Just more or less fitting all the components here and cramming them into this really small space. So I'm not sure if this frame is still on flash sale or not. I believe it's on a flash sale currently for about $16. Pretty inexpensive considering the one this is cloned from is probably closer to $50. So I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks like a decent frame, pretty easy to put together. And if you're not going to be too ambitious with your setup here, just a standard camera, flight controller, you should be able to fit everything in there, no problem. And it should probably fly pretty good. But I'm going to actually try and build this out, and we'll see a little bit later in a build video. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this frame review. Let me know if you have any questions about this, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.